Good morning, Miss. I am Aliyah Santia Pontilaw, and I am your physical therapist for today. May I know your name and your birthday?
My name is Catherine Anica Mendoza. My birthday is on March 28, 2010.
So today, Miss, we will be doing a manual muscle testing. This is important for us to know if you have any limitations in movement. And with this, we are able to enhance clinical decision making, which will lead to a better patient care. So will you allow me to go on with the assessment?
Yes.
Now, I will be positioning you so that you will be comfortable during the assessment process. Toe MP flexion, lumbricals. Position of patient. Sitting with foot on therapist's lap. Alternate position, supine. Ankle is in neutral position. Position of therapist, sitting on low stool in front of patient. Alternate position, standing next to table beside best foot. One hand provides stabilization over the dorsum of the foot. The index finger of the other hand is placed under the MP joints of the four lateral toes to provide resistance to flexion. Test. Patient flexes lateral foretoes at the MP joints, keeping the interphalangeal joints neutral. Instructions to patient. Bend your toes over my finger. Grading. Grade 5, normal. Patient completes available range and tolerates strong resistance. Grade 4. Patient completes available range and tolerates moderate to mild resistance. Grade 3, fair. Patient completes available range of motion of metatarsophalangeal flexion of the great toe but is unable to hold against any resistance. Grade 2, poor. Patient completes only partial range of motion. Grade 1, trace. Therapist may note contractile activity but no toe motion. Grade 0, no contractile activity. Lumbricals. Origin. Tendons of flexor digitorum longus. Insertion. Dorsal extensor expansion. Bases of proximal phalanges of lateral foretoes. Nerve supply. First lumbrical, medial plantar nerve. Remainder, lateral plantar nerve. Action. Extends toes at interphalangeal joints. HALLUX and toe DIP and PIP flexion. Position of patient, sitting with foot on therapist's lap. Position of therapist, sitting on short stool in front of the patient. Toe PIP flexion. One hand provides stabilization over the anterior foot with the fingers placed across the dorsum of the foot and the thumb under the PIP joint. The other hand applies resistance using the four fingers or the thumb under the middle phalanges for the IP test. Test. Patient flexes the toes. Instructions to patient. Curl your toes. Hold it. Toe DIP flexion. One hand provides stabilization over the anterior foot with the fingers placed across the dorsum of the foot and the thumb under the distal phalanges. The other hand applies resistance using the four fingers or the thumb under the distal phalanges for the DIP test. Test. Patient flexes the toes. Instructions to patient. Curl your toes. Hold it. HALLUX DIP flexion. One hand provides stabilization over the anterior foot with the fingers placed across the dorsum of the foot and the thumb under the IP of the HALLUX. The other hand applies resistance using the index finger under the distal phalanx of the HALLUX. Test. Patient flexes the hallux. Instructions to patient. Curl your big toe and hold it. Grading. Grade 5, normal, and 4, good. Patient completes range of motion of toes and then hallux. Resistance in both tests may be minimal. Grade 3, fair, and 2, poor. Patient completes range of motion with no resistance, grade 3, or completes only a partial range, grade 2. Grades 1, trace, and grade 0, minimal to no palpable contractile activity occurs. Flexor digitorum longus. Origin, posterior surface of shaft of tibia. Insertion, basis of distal phalanges of lateral foretoes. Nerve supply, tibial nerve. Action, flexus distal phalanges of lateral foretoes. HALLUX and toe, metatarsophalangeal and interphalangeal extension. Position of patient sitting with foot on the therapist's lap. Position of therapist sitting on low stool in front of the patient. Toe, MP, and IP extension. One hand stabilizes the metatarsals with the finger on the plantar surface and the thumb on the dorsum of the foot. The other hand is used to give resistance with the thumb placed over the dorsal surface of the proximal phalanges of the toes. Test. Patient extends lateral foretoes. Instructions to patient. Strengthen your toes and hold it. HALLUX, MP, and IP extension. Stabilize the metatarsal area by contouring the hand around the plantar surface of the foot, with the thumb curving around the base of the hallux. The other hand stabilizes the foot at the heel. For resistance, place thumb over the MP joint or over the IP joint. Test. Patient extends hallux. Instructions to patient. Straighten your big toe. Hold it. Grading. Grade 5, normal, and 4, good. Patient can extend the toes fully against variable resistance. Grades 3, fair, and 2, poor. Patient can complete range of motion with no resistance or can complete a partial range of motion. Grades 1, trace, and 0. Tendons of the extensor digitorum can be palpated or observed over dorsum of metatarsal. Palpable contractile activity is a grade 1. No contractile activity is a grade 0. Extensor digitorum brevis. Origin. Anterior part of upper surface of the calcaneum and from the inferior extensor retinaculum. Insertion by 4 tendons into the proximal phalanx of big toe and long extensor tendons to 2nd, 3rd, and 4th toes. Nerve supply, deep peroneal nerve. Action, extends toes.